select that correctly.
You posture and you posture, yet your hands are shaking.
I like posturing. What's wrong with you, Dankovsky? An inquiry is usually about clarifying details. The extraneous is trimmed away in the process. My files grow thinner, but with you, it's the opposite. Your past is forever branching and multiplying. Why? You just like simple, clear-cut cases, and mine is not one of those. You've heard of Occam's razor, haven't you? Shouldn't multiply entities beyond necessity. Simplest explanation is always the most correct. You hold a razor, everything around you starts looking like a throat. That's precisely what I'm talking about. That is why the transcripts of our conversations are so wordy. You're incapable of concise thought. You drown in details and constantly get carried away with some other event. Have you forgotten that brevity is the soul of wit? In that case, I suggest we trim away this pointless discussion about Occam's razor. Get down to business. We're wasting time. I'm possibly stubborn, Bachelor, but as you wish. Let's get back to your testimony. Where were we? The 8th day of your inglorious odyssey? An important one, was it not? I'd go far to call it a turning point, since that is the day another looming threat emerged in town. You call every day a turning point. You're repeating yourself. Look up synonym. The arrival of the Inquisitor had everyone spooked. As far as I understand, long-standing balance of power in town had shattered. I still can't understand why Kaminsky singled you out like that. Must have seen you were failing. Well, why are you singling me out? Or the powers that be? Take a look. Here's what my files say. On the 8th day, Bachelor Dankovsky abandoned all his medical duties, took a stroll beneath the polyhedron, wandered through the atrium, and examined some drawings on walls. What is this? Did you decide to take a day off? Like you said, the town faced a crisis of power on the 8th day. Ruling families were either decapitated or weakened. That's what mattered, not where I was wandering. And what did you do about it? I took a stroll beneath the polyhedron, wandered through the atrium, examined some drawings on the walls. Which the Bachelor falsely considers good.
Optics, vision. Their answer is in mirrors.
No, I want to go to the right day. Giorgio is waiting for me to tell me a bit more about his great brother. Murders behind bars, good if Kaminsky agrees. Original is still archives is stolen from the lump. This must be prevented. What if she was connected to any quests? Katana vanished somewhere. Usually doesn't miss a chance to criticize my decisions. More cool stuff. So my plan is to eventually get to day 1 again. You know that... Oh, she's a knight, isn't she? Isn't a knight. I never expected her to relate to it. He was more interested in the influence of the still water. Greetings, Daniel. Welcome to the Stillwater, the creation of the architect who was named Farkad after his death. I remember you, the cathedral's caretaker. What are you doing here? Daniel, disaster struck the cathedral. The Inquisition is stomping on its ways with its iron heels. Inquisitor Karminski has broken the cathedral's will and exiled all the wonders from it. All the dead and the living, myself included. You decided to drop anchor. What do you mean, broken the cathedral's will? Can buildings even have a will of their own? It's humans who can lack will. A human always has one. A building always has one. How do you think they manage to stand up and not crumble? How are they holding up? Rigid body physics, I suppose. This is why I've come to you, Daniel. My own body is in dire need of a roof over its head after my exile from the cathedral. It's unexpected. Please, I'm not asking for much. All I need is your permission, Daniel. Please let me stay in Stillwater. Put a roof over my head. It's Eva you should be asking, not me. She's in charge here. She's also dead, but whatever. Settle down in a new place. One needs to get permission from all its inhabitants, including the Creator. Such are the rules. How are you going to ask the Creator's permission? Farkad's long been lying in the ground. Lying, reclining. A rule can be found for every case. For example, a learned man is a page in a book. One can so like yeah they didn't expect Eva to be dead on this day when you had this conversation. It seems one can address. It's almost as if they were like, no, we're going to give him the freedom to jump back and forth, but nobody's just going to jump 4 days forwards. That would be stupid. nobody would do that. I thought something might come of it. It complicates things, of course. I've forgotten how you pronounce that word. Somebody said it out loud once. Woobly dupes are over and done for. No one's left alive. Wait a minute, isn't Yulia Luricheva one of the Oinuits? She is, but I'm not counting her anymore. Why is that now? My own ears, I heard Marina Kana at the cathedral swearing that she'd avenge her father. No one would be safe from her fury, not Karminski, not Luricheva. It is known how vicious the Kane's wrath is. Yulia is either dead already or 1 foot in the grave. She's also reclining in the ground. What do you mean also? She's also half dead. What's so hard to understand? Once again, you found out Yulia Luricheva is in danger, right? This morning, calling upon the cathedral to bear witness, Rina Kana promised to herself that she would settle her scores with the people responsible for the metaphysical death of her father, and right after that she headed for the Trammel, where she rushed past me. A trail of misery and anger was following her. It's all over. You've done nothing, told no one. No one. I've just told you, Daniel. Are you no one? I wonder what I'd hoped for. This too is my problem now. Uwenge. Umueta.
The broken ones don't lie.
I got a bunch of new thoughts, didn't I? Why would I be on that day? sense strange hum throughout the town. Fucking hum. Fuck right off. Minku, Barak is familiar with the local folklore. I hope yesterday's trial isn't a reason for him to skip hospital work today. Lord, she's waiting for me. Someone daubed primitive step signs at Stillwater's doors. In blood, is this attempt to curse me? To find someone versed in step semantics, I want to understand if this is a curse or a cry for help. Murderers belong behind bars. Good if Karmensky agrees. Move the lump.
Misophonia, Dankovsky.
Nope, I thought you might be here for a reason.
Forgot that there's so much of the world.
He's big. No, I was right there, wasn't I? Oh, there's so many of you now. If I play this again, I could just skip day 10 for a while, just ignore it as long as possible. Day 2, Doctor. Do you have business with our esteemed Inquisitor? I have business with you, Heron. Numerous matters concerning the emergency command. All I can offer is my condolences. Did they accuse you of something? This conversation has taken a weird turn. Apparently I'm missing something? You acknowledge your shortcomings, such as your cluelessness, at the start, but it's much too late. Yesterday I spent the entire day observing the effects of Inquisitor Karmensky's arrival and made some calculations. As a result, I've decided to transfer to his services as a temporary assistant. What? Inquisitor Karmensky took my offer with utmost seriousness, has already assigned me tasks far more meaningful than anything you've ever gave me. You'll certainly understand. I cannot disclose the details. The Inquisition is not your play pretend emergency command. So, if you excuse me, I have to get back to work. Are you out of your mind, Heron? Do you have any idea what the Inquisition is like? For them, you're expendable, and you'll learn that sooner than you think. Like all people lacking mental discipline, you're susceptible to the temptation of conspiracy theories. I won't indulge you in that sin. I hope you won't have to learn the hard way, then I'm right. Enough, Boss Vlad sent me to you to maintain order during the emergency, but you, Doctor, are your own sort of emergency. I have no power to fight you. However, I'd rather help those to put out fires, not light new ones. How does abandoning the emergency command count as maintaining order? I believe that doomed endeavours should be abandoned, not sustained in agonizing death throes by one's labour and skills. I'm not going back to emergency command. Good day, and good luck with the paperwork, Doctor. Good luck to you as well, with the Inquisition.
Thieves, cowards, traitors, scum.
Yes, Bachelor, you know, I'm aware that why you're here. Am I that predictable? Take it personally, everyone is predictable. You've come because the girl the townspeople call the Changeling. I heard the Inquisition has a whole network of informants in every town and city. Curious who's given me out. This has nothing to do with any informants. It's my job to read people. I noticed yesterday how uneasy you were in Clara's presence. I understand you, and I understand the feeling. What do you know what they say about her? This is the most vague question, Dankovsky. We know everything. The question is, what interests you exactly? Well, I have to work with him apparently. She claims she can heal people with a touch. Must admit, Clara is a person with very unusual qualities. She has something in common with the impossible objects. Do you believe that's true? I don't believe you've come here to discuss rumors about Clara with me. You need something from me. Her laying... Oh, no, this one. Her laying on hands practices are dangerous. She lays her hands on the sick, and with these very hands, she then spreads the sand plague pest from one patient to another. So you're asking me to take someone into custody because she doesn't wash her hands? It's a pretty extreme way of teaching proper hygiene. Not asking you to hang her, just to isolate her for a time. You're hiding something, I can see it. There's obviously some variables in this equation that you've forgotten to mention. Yeah, I'm trying to save Lara. I'm not fucking telling you I can see the future. I've no arguments, just my gut feeling. I expect Clara will bring a lot of trouble to this town if we don't take measures immediately. Be it your way, Bachelor, I'll order Clara to be put in a cell. But there's a problem. All the cells in the town hall are occupied right now. One of them has to be vacated. Since this request is yours, I suggest you should be the one to choose who goes free. Are you ready? In the first cell, Ajay Istakov, murderer and rapist. In the second one, Niko Vidic, the man behind the attempted... well, fucking not the first one. The man behind the attempt on your life, esteemed Bachelor. In the third one, Marika Tatlina, who's stolen a mirror from her neighbor. So what's the catch with Maria Tatlina? There's no catch. Thievery is a crime. She stole a mirror yesterday. Who knows what she'll steal tomorrow? Let her out then. Excellent choice, Bachelor. I hope it won't lead to catastrophic consequences. I'll give the order to set Marika free and lock poor Clara in her cell immediately. You're dismissed. Nulla Calamita Sola. Minus 3,000 unrest? Jesus. I was doing well until I skipped this day. I came back to this day even.
I don't want to hear this. Why so jittery, Dankovsky?
Judge was expecting you today, but you never came. A few days ago, you invited me for, let's call it a lesson, change of plans. Merely missed each other. He left but a moment ago and told me to send you after him. Today's dispute can't be held to the Crucible. No matter, the matter is too complicated. People have gathered for the council by the water town, just beyond the still water. You best hurry. All I seem to do is run back and forth.
It was quiet in Thanatica.
Is it underground? Music, it's singing. Hey Khan, Kezgem, do you hear it too? The whole chorus, so beautiful. Want to cry, Yama. Going up. What are you blabbering on? Blabbering a crackpot? Call that music? They're just gibbering. Something in the lingo of theirs. Mom? Mom, is that you? I'm hearing your mother's voice. Not possible. Woke up today from a humming in my head. Thought I was ill. Yes, I knew. This wasn't my head, it was the polyhedron humming. This can fuck right off this story. What is this? Does this happen often? I've only arrived recently. I take this personally. Looks like the polyhedron is tilted. Am I imagining it? Always said this nasty thing will kill us all, bury us all underneath. Told him so. Must never build into the sky. It's against the human law. It is. It's a punishment for this. There's children inside, aren't there? Isn't now the time to evacuate them? Well, I can just talk Russian. Children will be alright, don't worry. Right, my foot. Thingamajig will fall on our heads any day now. It'll take a fortune teller to know that. Tell me to make them answer them. Ones who get stuck in there. Where are they? The Martins, the drunkards? Grab them by the scruff, drag them here, let them fix it. Maybe we should let it fall down. Mark and Walker.
I don't know about the story, but I hope you enjoy the play.
At last, just when I thought this drab town was all spent, all out of things happening, and all of a sudden a concerto. Can you hear it? The music is heartbreaking. In the tower. Ah, it's promising something special today. A spectacle, if there ever was one. Hundreds and thousands of dead, terminally ill people. Not spectacular enough for you? My father, my old dad, he was in rural Spain when the pandemic hit in like whenever the fuck that was, 2019, I suppose. Kind of, you know, isolated from everything. Didn't really notice it. So when like he contacted me, it was just like, well, this is very interesting, isn't it? Bit of an event. It's like, fucking dad. Dying of plague is tragic, yes, but ugly, and that's the great and fatal flaw with it. He does actually, yeah. I've not even played that game, but yeah, there's. But look at it. I was beginning to think nothing interesting would come of that tower. It would be forever just be a dull eyesore ruining the skyline. But now, I'm intrigued. Are you joking? Yes and no. I suppose you've heard about the latest fad in Capital's theatre circles. It's called plays where nothing happens. People drink tea on a porch for 3 hours, and someone shoots himself off stage, of course. I like the concept, but I'm too old school for it for myself. You know, I'd give a lot right now to have 3 hours drinking tea on a porch. You'd give a lot for nothing. What you need is an emotion, one that slams you in the face and makes people shake uncontrollably as they walk out the theatre. Stage production is only good if it leaves you needing a doctor, a spa trip and a shot of morphine, a priest or a coffin. The tower's looking like a promise of genuine tragedy today. You can easily find those emotions in the cinematograph. Back at the Capitol I saw several excellent cinematographs pictures. Are you trying to insult me? You've never seen real theatre, never witnessed real tragedy. That is all. I, on the other hand, have built my entire life around them. Trust me when I tell you, we are now the spectators of tragedy most genuine and sublime. Is there something you know, Mark? Are you hinting at some specific tragedy? No hints. It's almost shockingly obvious. There are children huddled up in the tower, hundreds of them. Their lives are hanging by a thread. If someone brought me a play about that premise, I'd give the playwright a good slapping in the face for being so trite. But life can be more shameless than theatre, and that's the beauty of it. As if an epidemic isn't tragic enough on its own. Oh, it's Greek. You know Greek. Get lost, I tell you. You know what? I should have known that wasn't Russian. And also, the language isn't. Writing isn't Russian. It's fucking. There's a word for it. Whatever. Get lost, I tell you. Stomp those boots of yours out of here. Vilink, are you deaf, you geezer? Should I spell it out? Something's wrong with the polyhedron. I think you should leave it before the something hop. Don't you hear the polyhedron's making sound? We hear it all right. It's just weeping because it's seen how stupid the people are in this town. We don't meddle with you folks, so forget your ways to us too. I just want to help. And I want to shoot blood in from my eyes. So what now? The world isn't perfect. So it doesn't worry you that the tower's suddenly rumbling for all the town to hear. It's not rumbling, it's playing. Heard that melody before. Our tower is God's huge pipe. If so, then this will be the first case in history of thousands of people dying because of a pipe. I like that he used the phrase "I on the other hand," which is literally what I've got in the title of the stream. Starting to dissociate.
Be quiet, you lot.
I was trying to be cheeky and no. He remembers that, but not the mirrors. No, he does remember the mirrors, John. Hurry up.
My head hurts enough as it is. Vibrant. Everything's so vibrant.
Kind of dangerous to do right before conversation.
The Onirotects have met the challenge. The polyhedron will live.
The Onirotects. I never would have guessed that pronunciation. Ladies and gentlemen, temper yourselves, no shouting for one another. If you've gathered a council, then behave as one. Let us everyone speak, but in turns. I've raised hand, everyone will be heard. I give you my word. All respect, Judge. But ever since the plumbing was destroyed, that tower's been standing there empty. Why hasn't it been put to use by now? Half the town's boarded up from Sandpest. People have nowhere to go. We could at least shelter some of them in the tower. That's what I'm saying. Give it to us. We'll set up a warehouse. Plenty of room inside. Ain't you got a warehouse in town? We've got a whole district with nothing but warehouses. You men, you're always trying to turn everything into piles of junk. Town's got no school, no hospital, but all they want is warehouses. There is indeed no school, but how do you imagine placing one inside of a water tower? Such is our way, Bachelor. Since Simon's day, it's been customary that if a new district is being developed in the town, or as now, when some structure stands derelict, a council of sorts convenes for everyone to voice their wishes. Really? Was it the same with the polyhedron? Do people approve its construction? Certainly, and certainly. Many people were beset with doubts, fears, and skepticism, but Simon was able to convince them. He loved speaking with the townsfolk. I say it at every council, the town needs a school and a hospital. No one ever listens. Simon was special, he was wise, and his words flowed my music, but... The theatre serves as a hospital for now, and as its head, I assure you we lack both the equipment and the personnel for a second one. Moreover, we have lost the town's chief physician. Isidore Barak's word should have been decisive, but he will speak it no more. However, the council's opinion is heard. Once the sand plague recedes, we will return to the matter of a permanent hospital. The sand plague recedes. We might not live to see this receding. No, let us decide now. The tower stands empty now, so now is when we must put it to use. Why the delay? You're right to emphasize the present moment and its needs, but do you truly understand them? Let me remind you that Simon considered this tower as a foundation for the newest optical system, which would now allow us to... Here we go again. The Canes are only concerned with their mysticism. What's the point of the town council if everything ends up done the way your family wants? Victor at least listens to the people, but you... Victor took part in these councils as well. If you had some everyday trouble to sort out, everyone knew which door to knock on. Victor's was the handiest of all the Canes, lived down to the earth, knew how to talk to regular folk. They go building their cathedrals and stairways to heaven. And I ain't got stools at home and my door won't open, hinges are busted. And why is that? Because the Canes sent all the carpenters off to play in their miracles. Who's going to play in their chairs and hinges now? Margaritas ante porcos. The heat of discussion is not proportionate to the subject. Calm yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. The optical project within the tower is necessary for the town. Simon dreamt of it a long time ago. He left sketches of a system. Many lenses and lighting devices, a system that requires a vertically organized space in order to... Everyone here loved Simon. His death was a wound on each of our hearts, but with all respect, Judge, I'm certain that if Simon was here, he would hear what we're asking. The people are desperate, clinging to normal life with their last strength, building yet another piece of make-believe nonsense before our eyes now. You might as well be spitting on our faces. Your voices will be heard, but now I wish to honour my brother's memory, realising one of his last projects in this ill-fated tower is the least he could do. Told you, they're already on edge. You're making it worse. Hear that? He's hiding behind Simon now. I'm done with this yapping. You want your system? Either do it our way or answer for it. Tell me, Judge, what else is this tower good for? Reckon it's fit a gallows? Stop. Have you lost your minds? Oops. Georgie's dead. I could have got my gun out. This always like burns a bunch of time, so I'm gonna go here first.
Can't.
Where the fuck's the front? I'm gonna have to remember where the front door is. Ah, no, he can fuck off. Okay, I'm not sure how I've done that. Maybe of service for you some tea and take your coat. There are rumours that old Gimski's house was robbed the other day. Is that true? Robbed us? I don't know. Not sure if... I'm sure if so much as one thing were moved out of place, I'd have known first. Hear that, a step? They said something was stolen from us. If anything happened at all, it'd be ants stealing sugar from the bowl. I've been on shift for a full week and seen nothing of the sort. No, it can't be. Rumours and gossip. Besides, who in their right mind would rob the bowls? There isn't a fool like that in town. But if there was no robbery, then Isidore's archives must still be in the house, mustn't they? Notes he kept on the plague, written 5 years ago. That I can't know of. I'm responsible for cleanliness and order. There have been no robberies while I was here. If you doubt me, you may look over the place yourself. Find no trace of such a thing. If your business is lordly sort, take it to the boss and ask him. Curious that neither Aaron or Kaminsky lied about the theft. Hasn't been moved, there would be scratches on the floor. There are such stacks of papers here, it doesn't look like anyone forced their way through the door. The window is intact. Locks are intact. Posters haven't been torn down, nobody's searching for a safe behind them. Upholstery is intact, nobody searched for diamonds inside. No signs of a break-in. No traces. On my face good.
Grip. Grab. Rob. Grub.
Yes, those are all words. What do you want, Bachelor? I wish to ask you about the robbery.
I know for whom the bell tolls.
Is it Gary? Does it toll for Gary? There are rumours the lump was robbed in the archives the first outbreak were taken. Rob me, of all people? You're funny. Who dared do as he pleased in my house? He'd have his hands torn off at once. Really are an absolute bore. You don't know when to leave or when to keep silent. Isidore's notes are indeed in your possession. Bachelor, this is neither the time nor the place. We've got family matters, family grief. Leave. Please leave us. Can't you see father's unwell? I don't understand. One tells me the archives are gone, the other says nothing happened. Who's telling the truth? Are you clinging to me like a tick? Honestly, haven't you got anything better to do than to shake me down for papers? Even if I did have them, I told you plain enough, you're not welcome here right now. What part of that don't you understand? Intellus Castillo Solvitur Silentio. Doctor. Couldn't tell you earlier. I was afraid someone might hear. Here's the key to young mistress's wing. Side annex, the entrance from the street around the corner. You want to take a look? I've already been there. I didn't need a key. Keys to Capella's wing. What am I meant to do there? Is there where you keep the archives of the first outbreak? See for yourself. I mustn't whisper with you any longer. If they notice, the boss will be angry. My thanks to you. Yeah, how did I get in there tomorrow? Well, I guess I already had the key.
Never alone. Things everywhere. You're too high-strung.
Huh. Been a while since I've seen you. Zoyan, one of Gimski's workers of the abattoir, a heavy man, rousing heavy suspicions but no interest.
I carry out my duty. I keep my world safe.
You, I remember you. The man with a deep clasp at his neck. You should not be here. I remember you as well, Foreman Oyan, and once again I find you in a locked room. Does Capella know you've entered her chambers? This is the boss's house. They serve him. I am his Barungar. You're the one who should not be here. Tanag Dag Gir Kun. How do you get here? You do not see me. Leave. Hello, Kavikla. I was told there's something in Capella's chambers that I ought to see. I assume they meant you. Your neck is thin, Kun. Raise your voice and it will break to I'm by car. I said it plainly, this is the boss's house. I was ordered to sit here and keep silent. I am silent. Must be some misunderstanding. I only need Isidore's old notes on the previous epidemic, that is all. And here you are, playing at espionage. About Isidore's notes, I will also remain silent. You may threaten to break my neck again, but I will say it regardless. There are rumors that the lump was robbed, and you look very much like a burglar lying low. No one robbed the boss's house. Whoever told you that lied to you. I do not lie to you, outsider. I do not know how to lie, so when I must lie, I stay silent. So you chose not to speak of Isidore's archives in order not to lie about them? Don't pull words from me. You won't succeed. Why do you need Isidore's notes? You want to cure the sand plague? Cure hunger instead. That is our true enemy. Its teeth is sharper. On that point you are right. The shortage of food is becoming an ever more serious problem. People are starving. They have nothing to eat. And there is nothing to eat. Hunger eats you. I returned from the steppe today. I was searching for bulls, both common and sacred ones. The aurochs. The kin need them for the ritual. I walked for days and found not a single bull on the steppe pastures. All were slaughtered, out of hunger, and the aurochs are gone. Is that so? To be honest, I hoped the steppe would feed the town while the quarantine lasts. Do you know what the herders told me? When the plague came, people from the town slaughtered every bull they could find and hid the meat away. Greedy, Kai. And the meat they hastily prepared rotted in their houses over these days. People feared hunger, and Dia itself called it forth from their hands. Right, I should have issued a decree to requisition food in the very first days. I could have saved part of the stores this way. It would not have rotted. The people will not give up food. You had taken food from the people. You would not be speaking with me today. You'd be lying on the ground. Yes, you are right again. Then it must be exchanged for something that does not rot. You aren't hopeless, Gohan. When you tighten your hand around the people's neck, you must know when to loosen it. Give me an interesting thought. For that, you have my thanks. Yet, I still don't understand why old Gimski hides you here. Exchange equipment for food. Maybe like an hour? I'm gonna try and finish the day. The boss is near withered away. She twists him this way and that. And hard tay. Does she truly? It seems to me he simply loves his daughter, nothing more. Daughter, not speaking of the daughter. You should see him, Emshen. How he lows when she comes. Bird hard tay. Tame as any calf, properly broken. Big Vlad in love? Now that would be something. That's no love. Ene Duran Beshe. Ene Alta. That is fear. The boss fears that you'll slit his throat. Wicked woman. Very bad. Eke. Ute. You must rest a while after seeing the eyes of such a wicked woman. Call the burns they leave behind. The little mistress let us in so the bide shark kai ya Dylan D. No more tales of the wicked woman. This isn't the first time I hear of her. Oh yeah, hang on, where's my Inquisitor? Where's my real Inquisitor? Where's Aglaya? She's Shabnak a deer. No, she's worse than Shabnak. Beautiful she is, and seeming wholly alive, but evil churns in her like poison. Whoever meets her gaze is already injured. And whoever has seen her may tell tale that I'm telling you. Why did she come? What does she want from Big Vlad? That's who stole the archives. No wonder no one here will admit what happened. Did she say what she wanted from those manuscripts? Told me to vanish, Emshen. Told me to be silent, to keep my eyes down. Ma'ai ek hen here, Zerk heshte. Where did she go after the lump? Do you know where she lives? Where she might be found? Tere ka na ge a ka na she. She is everywhere and nowhere, like a draft. You'll only see it if she wishes it, Emshen. She certainly leaves a deep impression on those who have met her. She must be a most remarkable woman. I'm a new mistress, it's fucking Aglaya. Right, we have a woobly-doo. So I'm gonna go back there before I go into there. Oh yeah, fuck, I completely forgot about Yulia. We should do that first, actually. She was sneaky hiding behind that. Okay, that was cheeky, that one. these? Am I too late?
No. No one can replace Simon.
Expected you come, and Daniel, our town. How old do you think it is? You're a wanderer, an outsider. Have to know how the town is reflected in the eyes of an outsider. Depends on what we consider the starting point. Do we count the native settlements or not? No one can say for sure how long the town has stood. Perhaps it's very young. Perhaps if we include the kin settlements in this naive arithmetic, we can trace its roots all the way back to the time of creation. That is why it shall endure. The plague shall not kill it. Something that much greater than us cannot be killed. Anything can be killed. As for towns, they vanish from maps quicker than people can blink. That's what makes you different from Yulia. You're used to being so similar before. I had to talk about the town with her today. Yulia agrees that some things are invincible. You argue, insisting that anything can be killed. This tells more about you and Daniel than it does about the object of our debate. Yulia, where is she, by the way? I expected to find her here, not you. You only just left. You missed her by a minute, or by an eternity. I told her you certainly come, but she didn't listen. She was in a hurry to meet her destiny. How did you know I was coming? Yulia is like your reflection in Daniel, just frozen in a different pose. Could you have left her alone in a time of trouble? Let's not go too far into metaphor territory. Yes, I like Yulia. The rationality of her thought is part of her reason for that. Please tell me what happened to her after all. All I did was talk to Yulia, just like I'm talking to you now. Are you afraid of talks, then, Daniel? What happens to me after these talks of yours? Will I also rush out here to meet my destiny, as you say? Who knows? Can free will ever be controlled? You claim that your heredity allows you to foresee what's going to happen, to know the future, to shed some light on the past, at least what's happened to Yulia. I'd come here to make Yulia answer for what happened to my father, but the whitening of her fingers told me that she'd not been responsible for our misery, that she'd always been honest, both with us and with herself. You're merciful in such a situation too, with my sympathies. Because fate is terrifying. I told Yulia that I'd forgiven her, that it was Kaminsky who should bend his back carrying the burden of guilt for my father. I've also told her that the atrium street is boarded off. Of course I did. Yulia's creation after all. She should know that her street has been locked in a cage. Ooh. No. It was provocation, Maria. You'd need not to have the gift of precognition to know Yulia would rush to her creation. What are you trying to accomplish? Do you want to have her arrested by the patrolman? Shot by a stray bullet? Is this your revenge? Cruelty is putting words in your mouth. You're a creator yourself. Were you in her place? Would you prefer not to know what was happening to your brainchild? I believe it's not my mouth cruelty is putting words in. It's the mouth of the woman whose father suffered from Yulia's brainchild. And Daniel, you know very well where in the atrium the street is placed. It's on your orders that it's been boarded off. Are you allowing me to intervene, Maria? Because I will. Is this Yulia's theme? Good thing she doesn't know about Georgie yet. go to the town hall as well. Fucking... How many?
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Doctor, may I trouble you with something? I've been gathering a bit of statistics. When exactly was it that our patients first came down with the sandpest? I mean the ones with the intercurrents, little. I beg your pardon, for my curiosity, I swear it doesn't get in the way of the work. Anyway, as far as the numbers go, it turns out we get visited only by those who've lived with the sandpest for a day or two, free if they're hardy, which is almost remarkable, seeing how most people last 5 hours at most. But it got me thinking, might there be someone who holds out even longer, someone who just lived through it without any help? You're asking how long an intercurrent patient can survive without medical intervention? You want me to purposely get everything wrong? Because so far, every time I've done that, accidentally, they've died. Exactly that. What happens to them scientifically speaking, I mean? They obviously die sooner or later, but what breaks them? What makes the intercontention barrier give away? It's still intercurrents a little, it is an interesting question. But, well, we can't just go and not treat our own patients, can we? Simply watching them suffer, that wouldn't be right. Not to mention, it would take quite a while. So I was thinking, pests in town for nearly a week. What if there's someone out there who caught it at the very start, and they're still alive somehow? Like where your thoughts are going, little, I'll consider how we might find such a case. That would mean going to the first day, right, and getting them wrong. It says that, but I'm not seeing him dead. Why is there so many of them?
I like our pantomimes, you know. Mark Immortal often lets the audience in for free.
It's just the 5th day of a hospital and it feels like an eternity already. I feel like I was born here. I lived my whole life here and probably will die here too. Day counts for 2 of a job like this, if not for 10. Not complaining, not really. Just can't wrap my head around it. All my life shrinking to the 5 hospital days. How can that be? Let's move on to the patients, shall we? Alright, but don't push yourself too hard, little. At least find the time to get some sleep. These people will await your attention. Torpy. This won't be easy. Also Crow, who also will get a pitchfork in the belly if he ever leaves the hospital. Hagrid, Astrolid, and Petrel. Not quite right in the head, that one. You say the townsfolk was up in arms against Crow. What did he do that was so terrible? Crow's a businessman, several warehouses, a shop for selling. He also deals with his customers directly. He's been in this for a long time. Everyone knows him. And now they say his goods are infected, that he won't stop at anything for money. Denies everything, of course. Tell me about Astrolid. She's here on her own, wanted to get her fever down, said she needed nothing else. All while looking like she's been ploughing the field by a lonesome. Now, I take the plague tests from anyone I get my hands on, and there it is, positive test. What's wrong with Petrel? You suspect insanity? The orderlies have found him near the cathedral. He was crawling down the steps. Thought he may be returning from the Quisitor like that, but you know how it is. They ask him, are you unwell? He's just babbled some nonsense. To bring him here, found out he has the plague. His memory's kind of cloudy. At least he remembered he was called Patrol. That's something. Why won't it be easy with Torpy? Above brought her. She'll talk your ear off that one. No idea how to make her stop. Right then, time to start working. Different new model. Oh, it's you, right? The one and only. I could tell right away. So tall and important looking. And with such intelligent eyes. Torpy, stop daydreaming and say hello to the doctor. He came all the way from Capital to treat you. Hello. What's this impression of a dying swan? Go on and thank the doctor for agreeing to treat you and speak up. Thank you, doctor. You're welcome. Let's get to it, shall we? We have lots of patients to treat. We're sensible people. We know you're a busy man, and I know a thing or two about medicine too. My second cousin's nephew is training to be a nurse in the capital. Visited him 3 times, saw the whole city. His name's Mikey Longlife. Maybe you know him. I think I've heard. Let me ask again, what seems to be the issue? Mother's heart knows no rest. It aches and aches. Feels it's about to leap out of my chest. So you have a heart condition. What? No, doctor, it's my daughter who's sick. That's why I brought her to you. Come on, Torpy, say something. Can't you see you're causing confusion? Don't just stand there. Talk to the good doctor. Don't feel very well. My head's heavy. Like a head. Dead. Speak up, silly. She has a fever, doctor. Just won't go away and her head hurts. It's been weak. She's become weak like a rag doll. I'm gonna leave it. I think these are fun little puzzles, but it is 2 a.m. and that it's not the time I want to do puzzles. I could load my game and just sort of avoid this hospital, and sort of do it later. We do have Yulia Novicheva, but if my brain's not working, it's probably for the best. It would have been nice to go a little bit longer. No, I'm gonna leave it here. Yeah, it would have been nice to finish the day. Yeah, I think we've got the sand pest. I don't have sand pest. I'd done within 5 hours, wouldn't I? But unless I have an intercurrent disease. I mean, it's still bad though. Thank you very much for watching. I've been the Johnstruct. I've been having